Obviously, what happened tonight, it was you don't see very often. That for I think one of the guys just told me that we led for 33 seconds today, and we were fighting uphill, most of the game. And once I said at halftime, we scored a buzzer right at the end, and I said the difference between scoring that basket and all the times that we hadn't is just, they knew they were up against the clock. So Billy got aggressive. He penetrated. He got a second defender, and Brandon caught it. He knew, he had to shoot it because he was up against the clock. But that's the mentality that we weren't playing with, and we needed to. And in the second half, we still didn't come with that same mentality until we started, mixing it up with some full court pressure. I thought our defense got better as the game grew older, but we're a good team when we bring the ball to the rim. We're 18 for 21 from the line because we were attacking, and it sounds like a simple concept, but it's something Billy and Eli and Brandon and the rest of the guys on the perimeter have to do. It's something Trey does a lot, but that's the makeup of our team. And when we don't do it, we have trouble scoring. So, really, really proud of the resiliency that the guys showed tonight, and just it was an unbelievable win, to be honest with you. Yeah, and unfortunately, and sometimes fortunately, we've been in that situation where we've had a deficit, in and around that same 12-point, 9-point, 8-point, and I kept telling them every time out that we're in striking distance. We need a couple of stops in a row, and then we need to get aggressive. A couple of stops in a row, we need to get aggressive. And as long as we got enough, we chipped away, so it wasn't 15, it wasn't 18, where it became, especially at the game grew old, it wasn't insurmountable. And so I looked up one time and I told the guys, I mean, we're 7 points down. That's a couple of baskets. That's a couple of baskets, and so you just got to keep pushing, and eventually we did. We were able to turn them over on some full court pressure. And I think that naturally energized us, but it allowed us to get the ball up the court quicker, or even in steals to get the ball to the rim. When you do that, and all of a sudden you make more jump shots as a result, and that's kind of how the game started to turn. He is a magnificent athlete, and from my vantage point, I thought the ball was going out of bounds, but he tracked it down. He kept his feet in bounds, and almost like retrieving a punt at the 1 yard line, and got it to Billy. And Billy knew he's been in that situation before, and I think the whole bench was screaming at him to just drive the ball, and that's what he did. And he did that last year at Marquette. He's done that a number of times, where if the ball is in his hands, he feels real confident, as do we, that he can make something happen for us. I looked up. I saw there was enough time. I just wanted him to drive the ball. Just drive the ball. And sometimes there's a wall and you got to make a decision. But when there's a scramble defense, just like when we had to guard Cartwright and he got deeper than I would have liked him to got. But I think defenses do that. It's almost like in football, prevent defense. They're going to give you something, and you just hope that it's something good. And so, the deeper he got, the more to his advantage. That's where he uses his size. He uses his creativity. And he'd missed a layup 5 or 6 minutes before, just an open layup. And so it was his veracity, I think, that got it. And then, as Bullock tried to take a charge, he was in the charge circle. I'm pretty sure he was, and that got Billy the M1. So for me, it was just drive the ball. Well, when Coach Cooley called timeout, I kind of figured, and I told the guys, it's going to Cartwright, and he's going left. And so whatever happens, just don't allow him to get ahead of steam and go left. And so they decoyed it by by inbounding it to somebody else, and then they got it to him. But I thought we built enough of a wall, and sure enough, he went to his right. And he had a point-blank layup, but he's not as good going right as he is going left. And, fortunately, he missed. It was a very makeable shot, but he missed it, and I think because we forced him to go that way. I don't mind three-pointers, and I think we're better than our percentage shows, but I think we have a hard time at times of knowing how to get good ones. The best ones for any offense are inside out. I think sometimes we settle for them because to work harder or to pass more or to investigate the defense more doesn't always get us what we want. And so if a guy's open, he'll just settle, and that's not a good rhythm three. And so we've got to do a better job of continuing practice of getting more quality threes. And if we do that, then the driving lanes will open up for us even more. Yeah, I feel very, very confident in his athletic ability. I feel even more confident in his personality and his substance that he can be in that situation and good things happen. He's got a history, not just over the years, not just last year, but this year. He hit a game winner early in the season uh, to win us a game. So I think he's a very calm and cool customer in life, and so he duplicates that at that point and during games. And so I wouldn't give the ball probably to anybody else unless they triple teamed him, and he still might score if that happens. But it's part of who he is as a man. I think he believes in himself, but he's not boisterous about his personality or what he can do, and I think that comes through particularly in end of game situations like that. Yeah, Joe is he's worked his tail off to earn every single thing that he's got. And I don't know that coming out of high school he can envision being a starting center at 210 pounds in a Big East conference. That's what he's done. And
He
so
can have about 20 pounds of mine.
yeah, yeah, mine too. But he is about as reliable as a guy can be as a human being, and he does that on the court. He's a guy that I'd love to coach 100 Joe Handles because they make you feel good and they do what they need to do to get the most out of themselves. You got to give yourself a chance to win. And the 3 out of the 4 games we played thus far, we've done that. We've got to do it again on Saturday and give ourselves a chance to win. It starts with competition. We got to compete to a higher degree for a longer period of time. We're playing a really good team in Marquette that's offensive minded, so our defense got to be sounder for longer periods of time. And then we got to, continue to work on our aggression. We got to be aggressive on offense. And aggression is not just driving, but moving the ball, moving the body, and getting out of our offense what we try to do every day.